Hi Krishna. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, yes,
Abhi.
Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Dhanvat pranam.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Gopala Krishna Goswami iti namine Prabhupadasya sahitam yah prakasha vitriyacha pracharam kritvan sadhu bhagavataday te namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desha Tarani. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Nam Prabhu Ki Jai. So I
Mataji,
it
make me
was
co-host.
you
I
are
will
already
help.
you are already co-host, it says.
Mataji, laptop one. I will
You
record the session.
just a minute. Okay. Hare Krishna. I mean I can see very few devotees from Australia have joined in. It's rather from India, many from my group only have joined in as yet. So Dhanva Pranam Shri Ram Prabhu, I can see you right now. There is Subrupni Kalandi Devidasi Mataji and Giriraj. Prabhu, Haribol. So we are here. I've been invited to actually to be a part of this group while I'm traveling to Australia because it's an order of Guru Maharaj that I'm traveling. It was Guru Maharaj order always that I should travel and preach. And the reason is that only for me being in Australia back again after so many years, I came last year and this year also again. It's only to fulfill the desire of Guru Maharaj. So all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Srila Bhagavad Pad. So Guru Maharaj was always, as we all are disciples of Guru Maharaj, we know Guru Maharaj always wanted us to preach and do book distribution. That's the backbone for ISKCON, he always said. And preaching can only be done if it our sadhana is good and blessings of Guru Maharaj are there for our sadhana to be very good. So Guru Maharaj always said, keep a strong sadhana and my blessings are always with you and you preach. It's for everybody, he used to say. I may not say that I'm anything special, but he it was meant for everybody. And he told everybody to preach in their own capacity and become good disciples. He always used to give an example that there are three classes of disciples. He used to say in his lectures, you will find that often he used to say there are three kinds of disciples. The first class disciples are the one whom the guru does not say even, and they just do the thing what he wants to do, what he is thinking of. And the second class disciple is when the guru says and the disciple does. And the third class disciple is the one whom the guru gives the instruction and yet he does not do anything. So Guru Maharaj always said, become the first class. Understand the mood of the guru and do the following. So I had always wanted to, since the day one when I joined ISKCON, when I had started saying him Guru Maharaj, and before that also, when I just met him for the first time in my life, it was like that I wanted to follow him. He had actually taken away our hearts. And after that, I met many sannyasis. I met lots of sannyasis. We both of husband and wife were very fortunate that we got a lot of blessings from so many sannyasis. And yet, I used to tell Guru Maharaj, I was invited to a few of the Vyasa Pujas also. But then I would always tell Guru Maharaj that it's with you, actually, we want to remain always. And then I never used to say to him that I want initiation this year, or I used to pester him for the initiation. Never. He knew that we would take initiation from him, but I never said, yes, we want it from you always. Give us soon, give us soon. I never said that to him, never. And because I always had this in my mind that I would take initiation the day he will say, I want to initiate you. He will see is worthy and say himself that I want to initiate you now. And that happened in 2001. In 99, we joined in 99. 15th of May, I was first time in Vrindavan, and then August, I met him for the first time. And then after that, we used to follow him everywhere. And then in 2001, he himself said that who says that you are not initiating, I'm not initiating you. I'm initiating you this year on December on Mokshta Ekadashi. So he initiated us in 2001 on Mokshta Ekadashi. I very well remember before the Ekadash, before our initiation came his Vyasa Puja. And I had once attended his Vyasa Puja in 2000. And then in 2001, and then when we attended the 2000, the Vyas Puja, at that time I didn't understand much about the Vyas Puja. We had just gone there, sat with him, had a picture. But then in 2001, Guru Maharaj himself said, tomorrow is my Vyas Puja, you must come. And both of us went for the Vyas Puja and we bought a gift for him. I personally made also a gift for him. I made a painting and I got it framed, and then a small painting, very small painting. And then I actually wrote a poem on Guru. That is my first English poem I wrote. And I took that poem, I framed that as well and took it to the Vyas Puja. And we were standing behind, in the auditorium, and it was all jam packed. We were standing way behind near the doors. We had just entered and it was all full. And I was standing there, and both of us were standing there. And I don't know how Guru Maharaj knew from all the crowd that we were standing there. He sent one of his servants to us and he said, Guru Maharaj is calling you up on the stage. And we both of us walked towards the stage on the dais. And then I handed my poem to Guru Maharaj and the painting. So when I handed the poem, he said, no, you take the mic and speak the poem. Read it yourself. And I thought how, and it was my stage fear. I'd never been on the stage and talking to it's a jam-packed devotees where it's the auditorium was full. And then Guru Maharaj says, take the mic and speak the poem. I was like, he has so much of trust, faith in me. He hasn't seen even what I have written. And he's asking me to read it aloud to everyone here. And I read the poem. And after that, many came to me to get a copy of the poem. So Guru Maharaj took both the photo frames from me, and they were for many days. I saw them in his room whenever I used to go to take darshan. They were lying in his bookshelf. So that was the first thing I got the service from Guru Maharaj, taking the mic. I don't know, and he gave me that Abhedan. He took away all the fear. The stage fear went away. The second the stage fear was gone, I was I never had gone on this in my school days or college days on the stage. Never spoken like this on the stage. But then the stage fear just went away. Guru Maharaj took it away. So this is how it was the beginning of our life with Guru Maharaj. And then it went on and we understood his mood. And then he said, I just said once to Guru Maharaj that in Panjai Bagh is a very small temple and very few people come here. And I have lived in Panjai Bagh all my life. Both of us have lived there. We were in fact born and brought up in Panjai Bagh. I said, but we had never gone to the temple. We came first to Vrindavan and then we came to the Panjai Bagh temple. So there is not much preaching that means here. And then Guru Maharaj suddenly says, why don't you preach? I said, I'm not perfect. I am just not initiated. I was not initiated even. I said, I'm not perfect. How can I preach? And then Guru Maharaj said, you will become perfect. Start preaching. And I took to preaching. I started preaching there. I started doing a Wednesday class in the morning. I remember I used to invite people, Mataji especially, they do come, and then I start preaching. I used to read just the Bhagavad Gita and speak out what it was written there. And everybody started liking it. And they would now invite me to their homes to come and lecture. I would listen to Guru Maharaj lecture and repeat the same there. And gradually it became so that Guru Maharaj got he always used to say that he knew everything. He said, I have my sources. I know everything, what's happening. I would report to him and he would say, I have my sources. I know everything. And it was so nice, so wonderful. The journey was with him so blissful. And his intentions, as we all know, was always pleasing his spiritual master. Like Srila Prabhupada always wanted to please Srila Prabhupada. That's how Guru Maharaj always wanted to please Prabhupada. He would speak about Prabhupada. And then once he invited us, again, we were not initiated at that time. And he said there was Prabhupada disappearance day. He said, come to Vrindavan. It was the November, again, the Kartik month. He told us to come to Vrindavan. I don't know how many of you know that first the Disappearance Day was actually celebrated in the courtyard, the Krishna Balram temple courtyard. It was not like this we see today. It was only in the courtyard of the temple hall, Krishna Balaram temple hall. The courtyard was the place where they would place Prabhupada on a rocking chair beneath beneath the kadam tree, and then we would all sit on the. There was mattresses all over the where the boat festival happens. The mattresses were laid down, and everybody would sit there, and all the Prabhupada disciples used to be most of the. It was Prabhupada disciples only. They would be there, and I don't know how Guru Maharaj said that we both should come. So we both of us went and we both sat inside for some time. And it was like sitting there. um I couldn't understand what was happening. I couldn't understand, really relate to what was happening. They were glorifying Prabhupada. Everybody used to come and glorify. There was Bhakti Damodar Maharaj, who left his body later. He was there. He had written a book. He was reading his book to Prabhupada. And for me, it was like they're reading the book to a murti. What is this like? But then I was losing interest inside. So both of us went outside and sat for some time on the chairs. And suddenly Guru Maharaj came out and he looked at us and he said, "What are you both doing here? You are supposed to be inside." I said, "Yes, Guru Maharaj, we will go inside." And then we ran inside and we took our seats there. And then I sat throughout and I saw Guru Maharaj crying. For the first time in my life, I saw Guru Maharaj crying. When his turn was about to come to speak about Prabhupada, he had a handkerchief on his face and he was crying. Then my heart melted. I said, he has so much love for his spiritual master. He's crying and he is like he himself is such a fiery preacher. Guru Maharaj was his voice was like a lion. He would roar with his voice. Guru Maharaj was never a feeble speaker like we have seen lately in 2020s, 21, 23, 24. Everybody has seen that he was not well at that time, but he was a very speaking in terms of speaking. He had a very loud voice and very active, super active. He used to walk and we used to run after him. He was walking and we were running. He was like that. So Guru Maharaj told us to sit inside, and I have the video. We had taken the video camera with us, and I made a lot of videos there. I still have those videos with me. So then we sat through and we watched it all. And then we came to know, yes, that is actually he wanted us to take blessings. We may understand or not understand, but when Guru speaks up, he means he wants us to take the blessings. He wanted us to take the blessings there from all the Vaishnavas sitting there and Prabhupada, of course. So this is how the journey started with Guru Maharaj in giving us instructions every now and then. Everywhere he would tell us, come there, go there, we would do that. He would tell me, go to Vrindavan and do the child protection seminars, attend them, do that course. And I would come to Vrindavan and do that. I did that from Anuttama Das, Prabhupada disciple again. Then he once said, go and do your teacher training with Lakshmi Muni Mataji. So I came to Vrindavan and I did that. So I was just following his instructions. I used to tell everybody, he has really tamed, a wild animal. It was me being tamed by him. I was, and he would be so nice to me, and Prabhuji would speak so nicely, and he would actually encourage me to do bhakti. And when he would go with us to someone's home and he would talk about Bhagavad Gita, and it was once or twice this happened that I would speak out from Granth Sahib. It would just come to my mind, oh, there is a similar verse in Guru Granth Sahib. And I would just speak it out. And when I used to speak it out, Guru Maharaj must be listening. And once in the car, he said, can you repeat it for me? I understand Punjabi. So you see, I'm Punjabi, so please repeat it. And then I repeated for him. And then I understood that I asked him once that I said, Guru Maharaj, I listen to Gurbani at least 2 to 3 hours every day in the morning. It comes live from Golden Temple. And I listen to it a lot. And can I go on listening? He said, yes, of course you can go on listening. Who tells you not to listen to it? You can listen to it. In fact, you should write a book now. And I looked at him. How can I write a book? And then I still remember when the verse I quoted from the Granth Sahib, which he wanted to listen to it again, was Jin manantar har preeta sojana sugad siyane. So they are very intelligent, those who have actually love for Krishna. Those who love Hari, they are actually very intelligent. So then Guru Maharaj actually asked me to write down the book. And most of you know that how I wrote the book in 2007. So it happened in 2007 that he was asking me to do since I joined in. Like in from 2001 only, he was saying, write a book, write a book. But in 2007, I wrote the book. But then again, it was the blessing of Guru Maharaj only. I could not have done it, I know it. I can never write anything because that was Guru Maharaj who asked me to do it and I could do it. He empowered us. Likewise, for the doing 1108 Bhagavatam sets, 1108 Bhagavatam sets this year, we distributed. All of us, all my peaceful devotional family, they all know that how we seeked blessings from Guru Maharaj. With his blessings only, we could all do it. Otherwise, it was becoming very difficult to attain, to reach to the targets. But then Guru Maharaj, then Rishi Kumar Prabhu said, Guru Maharaj is preaching, he is actually blessing us for our preaching from the Samadhi. So see, Guru Maharaj is still there. Those who speak, they speak ill, those who say the Vaishnavas died. He's not gone. He's still here with us. He has been always been with us, encouraging us, giving us his blessings, and he's still very much with us. And likewise, Prabhuji also got the instruction to make the temples. So Guru Maharaj said, you should build temples. Well, he made the Punjabi Bagh temple first, and then the Bahadurgarh temple came up. And Guru Maharaj always said, you make it. He had full trust in us. He had the trust in our, actually, the quality of work we would do or our designing sense. He loved it. He had a first class choice. Many of us don't know. Guru Maharaj always liked first class things, A1. He would look for A1 things. He never liked shabby devotees. He never liked devotees wearing unironed clothes. He always wanted them to look very smart, very elegant. He would tell us. Once we were in his rooms there taking his blessings, and there was a program for Hema Malini to perform in the auditorium, in Sri Fort Auditorium. She had to perform there. And Guru Maharaj was supposed to give a lecture there. Then uh, I asked my Prabhuji, let's go for this dance program as Guru Maharaj is giving lecture there. So Prabhuji said, no, he was not interested in any dance program. He said, no, let's not watch any dance. Let's go home only. And I didn't say anything to Guru Maharaj that we are coming or not coming. We just left the rooms, paid obeisances, and we were walking towards the parking. And suddenly a Mataji from Guru Maharaj's room, she screams on the top of her voice from the balcony of Guru Maharaj. The parking was just nearby there. And she's yelling on top of her voice, Radhika Kripa, Radhika. And I ran back. And she said, Guru Maharaj is calling you. So I went to Guru Maharaj's room and Guru Maharaj said, Radhika Kripa, I want you to come for the program. I want you to come and receive the VIP guest. Last minute, he gives me the service. And I knew already everything had been done, but he wanted me to be there and Prabhuji to be there. So he said, I want you to come back and all the way go to Punjabi Bagh and come back. He knew the distance. We live like 1.5 hours away from the temple. And he's asking, it was already 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock, the session starts there. The auditorium program starts. He's telling us to go back to Punjabi Bagh, come back from there, dressed up well, and come back. And but we could make it because it was his orders and we could make it. He told me, go home, get ready, wear a very nice sari and a nice tilak. He tells me this. He said a nice sari. He didn't mean to for me to come in the same that cotton sari which I was wearing. He meant it specifically that I should go home and get ready and come in a nice sari and a nice tilak. He made it very clear. And then he said, come back with it and get your daughter also along. My daughter was in her teens at that time. And he said, bring her also along. And we went home, we got dressed up, and he said, take all the VIP passes from the office. I'll just inform them. They will give you all the cards and the passes for you to cross over and come to the stage, backstage. And that happened. I took everything and we reached home. We got dressed up. We came back in time and we were behind the stage, on the stage there behind. And Guru Maharaj was giving lecture at that time on the dais. He was in the hall giving lecture on the dais. And Himamali says for Guru Maharaj to send him a message. She tells me, send him a message that he should leave and come, leave the stage now because our troupe is ready for dancing. And I was receiving Hema Malini, I was receiving the munjals at the behind the scenes. So we had to receive them, all the VIP guests. And I was dressed up in one of my finest saris with a fine tilak, nice tilak, and all with looking very much like them, like the material world, from the material world, but with a tilak. So Guru Maharaj wanted that perhaps from me. And I understood his mood that very day, that he wanted me to dress up very smartly, very nicely, and to look like that I belong to them. But then at heart, I am from ISKCON. I'm with Prabhupada. I'm with Guru Maharaj. So I was all dressed up like that. And then I called for Guru Maharaj to vacate the stage. I sent the message across. And Guru Maharaj came behind the stage. When he left the stage, he came there. And it was very dark there. And then I just went on the floor. When he entered that area, I just went on the floor and paid obeisances. And then Guru Maharaj looks up and he said, "Oh, it's you, Radhika Kripa." He even couldn't recognize me when I was dressed up so well. So, and he was very happy. He was extremely happy with the preaching. And this preaching, actually, that's why I actually narrated this incident, because he wanted us to preach nicely and dress up nicely. Whenever we attended a wedding with Guru Maharaj, to some devotees' wedding we used to go, the message would come that Prabhuji has to wear a suit, not dhoti kurta. Wear a pant coat suit and come for the wedding, and with a tilak and a shikha, of course, he had. So this is how we have been trained by Guru Maharaj. This is how it has been over the years. When I came first in 2007, I remember asking, because Guru Maharaj had said, "I want you to travel all over the world, become an international preacher." He sent me a mail from America at that time in 2004 or 5, where he said, "You have my blessings to preach anywhere on this planet." I still have that mail with me when he sent this to me. And then I asked, I can see Kadamni Radha Mataji here. And then I asked her, because she met me in Vrindavan. So I asked her, she was from Australia. So I said, "Would you organize some programs for me so I can come there?" She said, "Yes, I will surely help you because it's Guru Maharaj's desire." And then she organized programs. And then I went to Australia. I came here to Sydney. And she was the one to receive me at that time, she and her Prabhuji. I'm always grateful to them. So they received me. Then I had few programs here. And in the same time, when I was coming here, the day I went to see Guru Maharaj said he was there talking to devotees from Pakistan. And then Guru Maharaj is talking to them, and I'm paying obeisances. And they're asking Guru Maharaj to come to Pakistan, to come to Quetta to install deities there. So Guru Maharaj said, he looked at me sitting there, and he simply said to them on the phone, "Oh, I'll send Radhika Kripa." And he says to my Prabhuji, "Rasa Priya, do you mind if I send Radhika Kripa?" And Prabhuji said, "No, no, I don't mind at all. You can send her anywhere." And Guru Maharaj said, "Okay, Radhika Kripa will come to Pakistan to install the deities." And I thought it's just a joke. But then a guru never actually speaks anything that's joke. He never jokes about the things. He's absolutely 100% correct. I never knew that would happen. When I went back from Australia that year in the May end, I was back from here. I spent 3 weeks here and then I was back in Delhi. And then Prabhuji said that the Pakistani devotees have been calling up. They have sent some papers for you. You should apply for the visa and go. And their function was in the first week of June, and it was already the end of May. Just after 4 or 5 days, the installation had to be done. And then I just got a contact. That's a long story cut short. We got a contact, and how I got the Pakistan visa, it's a story in itself. The devotee really helped me out. And then I was a devotee who had actually met the High Commissioner to Embassy, invited him to ISKCON temple, and how they had exchanged the numbers with the High Commissioner. And that contact helped me. So I reached out to the High Commissioner, Pakistan High Commissioner, via that devotee, and they gave me the visa. And I traveled the next day. The very next day, I flew to Lahore. I was in Quetta in 3 days' time. I was in Quetta. I was there for the installation. I installed the deities in Quetta. That was in the year 2007. So I installed the deities there, and Giriraj Maharaj gave a lecture to one of his disciples who was doing the preaching there. He was present there, and Giriraj Maharaj had to give initiation to two brahmacharis at that time. And he gave the English lecture, and there was no WhatsApp at that time. So when he gave the lecture on the phone, I was translating it and repeating his words there. So that was, I gave a lecture in Quetta on the installation, and I gave initiation to two brahmacharis. I was not Brahmin initiated myself, but I was handing over the jneus to two brahmacharis on behalf of Giriraj Maharaj. So then I gave a lecture that night to nearly 800 people that had come from all over Pakistan. The Hindus had come over to Quetta, and I gave a lecture there, and then I distributed Prabhupada books, and we distributed all the stalls became empty. All the books were gone that night. There were big queues because they announced that I would be signing all the books. Those who buy a book will be they get a chance to meet me and get my sign on the book. And nearly everybody in the crowds bought a book, a small or a big book. Any book they could get over, they bought it. And I was there signing the books till 2 o'clock in the midnight. Till 2 a.m., I was signing the books there. So it was so much enthusiasm was there, so much of love was there, so much of dance, kirtan, everything happened in Pakistan that time. So likewise, my book, I had written already Vaishnav teachings in Sikhism. I wrote it later on, coming back from there. So I wrote it in the June. I started writing, and August we ended the book with and offered to Guru Maharaj. Then by then I sent the copies to Pakistan. They took it. The devotees took it because they a lot of Sindhi devotees are there. Sindhi people are there. They understand the Granth Sahib. So they took the book there and they translated it on their own into Sindhi and Urdu. So that book is distributed. I used to get all the information that that book is being distributed there. So when in 2018 I went there again with Guru Maharaj permission, Guru Maharaj was very happy when I again got the permission, and I got the visa. I went to Pakistan again. I was in Karachi, and I was there. I had gone for just 10 days. That I would stay only 10 days there, and then I happened to stay for 25 days. I gave 45 lectures in 25 days in Pakistan in Karachi, and when I was going to Karachi, Guru Maharaj, I spoke to Guru Maharaj, and devotees were asking me to bring beads and bead bags, 50 beads and 50 bead bags. So I told Guru Maharaj on the phone itself that I'm flying to Amritsar tomorrow, and then from there I'll walk down into Lahore. And I said, Guru Maharaj, the devotees are asking me to get the beads and the bead bags. So Guru Maharaj told me, he said, no, you are just taking your beads and the bead bag, your beads. You will not carry any beads and bead bags, and carry a picture of Narsingh Dev with you. And I did the same. I carried a picture of Narsingh Dev Ji, a hard copy, and I carried the my beads only. So when I was crossing over the immigrations in Pakistan, the customs, they stopped me. They were letting every other person go. I was also gone. I was at the doorstep only, but they stopped me and they said, "We want to open your bags." I said, "Okay, of course, go ahead." They had, and earlier never I had this experience. They never used to open the bags. And then they said, "We want to open your bags." And I said, "Okay, go ahead." So they opened the bags and they found nothing. And this is how it is. Guru Maharaj protected me again. He saved me. So this is Guru Maharaj knew everything. He would always say, Mohnbha Prabhuji clearly says that other day that Guru Maharaj could enter our minds, and it's absolutely correct. Guru Maharaj used to say, I know everything. He would often tell if someone would be there and I said, Maharaj, he's not saying the correct thing. It's not this thing happened the way that he's explaining. And then Guru Maharaj used to say, do you think I'm a fool? I don't know. I know everything. So Guru Maharaj knew everything. We may think, oh, we are hiding things from Guru Maharaj. Nobody could hide anything from Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj knew everything. He could read your minds. He could enter your minds. And he could actually revive the even the dead bodies, you know. It's of course it is there. Guru Maharaj was I met a god brother of ours from NBCC Pune. He told me he was nearly gone. He was totally unconscious. Doctors have given up the hope. They had said that he would go away any time. Temple has had actually planned everything, how the body will be brought, how he will be garlanded, what will happen to him. But then Guru Maharaj came to know in America that this has happened to him. Guru Maharaj called up and said, put the phone on his ears. And the phone was put on his ears. And Guru Maharaj told him, you must come back. You have a lot of service to do. You have a lot of book distribution to do as yet. And he revived. He came back. So Guru Maharaj had this power. He is glorified because he nearly could actually bless everybody like this for services. If he wanted someone to do service, if someone is doing book distribution, if someone is preaching, Guru Maharaj was extremely happy with that person. So that is why if we do book distribution, if we do preaching, if we cooperate with each other, we love each other, we keep the same opinion as he has instructed us. If we take his way, then we'll become the best disciples. The goal is only to please our Guru Maharaj. Our goal is nothing else. Our goal should not be self glorification. Our goal should not be to become a celebrity ourselves. Guru Maharaj often corrected. He actually, when I had joined, and Guru Maharaj said, you must give lectures. And I said, Guru Maharaj, I started giving lectures, but the respect I was being given now, it really made me fearful. I asked Guru Maharaj once, he was in our car sitting with us, and I said, Guru Maharaj, I really I don't want to give lectures because this is actually giving me more. A lot of people, they respect me like that, and this can bring ego into me. I can get puffed up. The thing I left my own business was that I now want to remain very low profile. And I stopped my business also for this reason only. Because I don't know, I'm not looking for anything now. I just want to be a good devotee. That's all. But if I give lectures and all, then people give so much of respect. Then the same thing will happen with me. So Guru Maharaj told me a story. He told me the story of Vasudeva Vipra. He said that Brahman had leprosy. Chaitanya, but he was an ardent devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He especially came to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced him. And as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced him, he became a very beautiful, very handsome. And now he asked, Vasudeva Vipra says to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that you have made me so good looking now. Earlier people used to change their path when they used to see me. But now when I look so handsome, so nice, I will be puffed up now. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, if you will keep on chanting 16 rounds every day, and you will keep on reading the scriptures and do as you will be doing all this, you will never get puffed up. So if we follow the instructions of the spiritual master, Guru Maharaj personally actually narrated this story to me. Personally, he narrated in the car. So that actually, whenever I feel something, I actually go back into the story one, because it's with the mercy of the Guru only we have become beautiful. It's the mercy of Guru Maharaj only that I'm able to preach. It's nothing. I don't have any capability, no ability. It's only because of him. He kept on giving me the orders, write the book, write articles, go and become international. They were not in my dreams even that I would do this. In fact, when I joined in, I asked Guru Maharaj once that I want to have a lecture in my home. Can any foreign body devotee come to give a lecture? Because all the relatives will be very impressed if he comes. And Guru Maharaj looks at me and he says, if you pay for the ticket, he will surely come. I said, it's okay, Guru Maharaj. So you see, it is, and I didn't know that Guru Maharaj will one day make me only that kind of a devotee who would give lectures. It's such a, what Guru knows it, we don't know. And then Guru Maharaj, at that time, Guru Maharaj told me that he told me the story of Vasudeva Vipra. And that is how it keeps me actually on the ground. And then once he said, when I was with you all, those who are watching right now from my group, from Devotional Family, they all know it. When in the 2020, when they joined in, I would give lectures and I would get very high views of my lectures. So once Guru Maharaj would every day, almost it was every day, I would call up Guru Maharaj. Sometimes he knew it was my lecture time and he would say, are you busy, Radhika Kripa? I said, no, Guru Maharaj, it's just ended. And he would I would report to him that so many people were watching, if this was happening, I'm doing this, that, everything I would tell him enthusiastically. And then for me, it was not no COVID times, no fear at all. It was not at all. I was not at all fearful, though Prabhuji was, he contracted the COVID during that time, and he was quarantined in the home, and I was alone outside and he was inside the room, and I was doing preaching. I was doing my Bhagavatam marathon. And then I remember one day my lecture was coming up on the Facebook, and there was 65,000 views, for 65K views. So for me, it was something that I have achieved a lot. 65,000 people watched my lecture. I could not believe it. And I was telling Guru Maharaj very enthusiastically. I told Guru Maharaj, today there were 65,000 people, they watched my lecture. And Guru Maharaj, on the other end of the phone, his voice came, very heavy voice, and he said, Radhika Kripa, do you want to be a celebrity or a devotee? I said, Guru Maharaj, I want to be a devotee. I don't want to be a celebrity. So Guru Maharaj, then he must have blessed me. So there is how it has been. I used to share everything with Guru Maharaj. Whatever happened, whatever happening, where I'm preaching, what I'm doing, what should I do? Every guidance was coming from him. And there was, yes, one thing in the beginning, I might, when you're new, you don't know, you complain. Sometimes you see some fault in some devotee and you try to complain. And Guru Maharaj taught me one thing. When I was complaining to him about some devotee's behavior, he told me, he said, when you tell the authorities about the behavior of one person, you have seen something wrong in someone, and it's, of course, genuine. But then you have told me, or you've told the authorities, you don't have to tell now to anyone. Now the authorities will decide how will they manage it. You should not go here and there and gossip about it. That I learned from him. He taught me that first thing. And then I never ever complained to him. Whenever I used to go to see him, it was only telling my scores in book distribution, telling how I'm preaching, telling him what is the strategy we are doing, what our group is doing, how I'm going abroad, what I'm doing. It was only that. And I never complained, never told any complaint. And he would, in fact, ask me, how is that devotee? How is this devotee with you? And he knew those devotees were good or not with me, but he knew everything. And he would try to ask me, but I never told him. I said, all are good, Maharaj. They are all good with me. And that is how it was that his blessings came. Because never ever we should, then that is how one becomes compassionate. That is how must that have pleased Guru Maharaj. That we should never complain about anyone, and follow the instructions as they are. As the instructions come, follow them as it is. So this is how, there are many things to say, but I think so. Only the time is running fast. It's already 5:55. I have another lecture at 6 o'clock in the temple hall. I'm right now at Sydney, ISKCON North Sydney Temple, Sri Sri Radha Gopinath Temple. The deities were brought by Prabhupada to this temple. I'm right there. So at 6 o'clock, I start with the other lecture there. So I would thank everybody, those who have been here. I am live on my YouTube channel as well. I know from Australia, very few have joined in because it was a short notice, and some are sitting with me right here in the room. So it's there on the YouTube also, that, and I'll share the link to those who are in the Australian group, so they can all watch on the YouTube later on if they want. So thank you everybody for joining in. We will meet again now from the temple hall. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Bhagavad Pada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you very much. Thank you very much, such a sharing the nectar drops. And I know how busy you are, but still you took time for us. And so we are grateful for you to come to Australia and give us your association. So I mean, more. I mean, we can't hear enough from you. So you have a storehouse of pastimes. Yes. Thank you very much, Mataji. Really, really appreciate. Dandot Pranam, Mataji.
Well, see you all soon now. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada
Hare
ki
Krishna.
jai.